The past meets the present in a super-sized project like nothing we've ever tried before. Jeremy and I modernize 4 different weapons from history and create the ultimate fighting machine.
Will our bizarre Franken weapons work better than the originals? And how will they fare when we try them out in a massive fire-filled battle? History is full of inventors who've tried to change the world. But there's a fine line between genius and absurd.
Our team digs up strange inventions from history and brings them to life. We're gonna build these inventions from scratch.
And put them to the test.
And some of them might actually work. Jeremy McPherson is an amateur historian and special effects artist who's worked on films like X-Men and Chicago.
Matt Hunter is a skilled carpenter and backyard inventor.
Together, we are the Reinventors.
Matt and I have built a lot of inventions on this show, and we've always tried to stay faithful to the original historical design. But not this time. The rules go out the window.
We're gonna take 4 reinventions from past episodes, rethink them, redesign them, and rebuild them using modern technology. Wait, we get to be the inventors this time?
Yeah.
All right, let's go back to the workshop and break down some ideas.
I'd love to. For this special project, Dr. Frankenstein and I have selected 4 inventions we built in their original form. A 15th century tank, a multi-barreled machine gun, and from the same era, a giant medieval catapult, and an ancient Chinese flamethrower.
You know, the more I think about this crazy plan, the more excited I get.
It's a great idea.
But where do we
Awesome.
start?
I think we should start with the flamethrower, man. It was
Nice
ever
choice.
impressive. I love hot devices, too.
The flamethrower we'll be adapting was based on a design from 10th century China. It used a double pump system to create a continuous stream of fire. Its drawback was limited power, meaning you had to get eye to eye with your enemy to use it.
So I think it's gonna be pretty easy to make this thing a modern-day killing machine.
Yeah, you got some
really.
ideas here.
Yeah, a few ideas here. I want to use something to get this fuel moving out of this thing a lot faster
Right.
and a lot further.
Okay.
How about a pressure tank full of nitrogen? We could probably get 2,000 PSI out of there. We might get 100 feet of flame out of this
That's
thing.
not a bad idea.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, but even at 100 feet, which would be cool, you still could get pegged by an arrow or a musket ball.
Arrow's a very effective killer at even 150 yards, you're right.
Yeah.
So what do? We wrap this thing in some kind of armored plating? Way too heavy.
Wait a second, dude, we missed it. We should throw it in the tank.
It's twisted.
It's not good on fuel, but a wicked hybrid.
Jeremy's idea. Combine the flamethrower directly with our 15th century tank. Based on a design by Leonardo da Vinci, this tank was originally powered by soldiers working an elaborate gear system. As far as safety, it was fine at blocking arrows, but left the soldiers inside vulnerable to rifle fire. One way to protect them now is to remove them entirely.
So it leads me to the first idea I had, which was, why involve anybody? We could put a motor in here and have this whole thing run remotely. And the next step would be maybe having an anti-personnel turret on top with a machine gun. How crazy would that be?
I like it, I like
Yeah. It's pretty high tech, but we should get the team together.
This is gonna be a killer.
Is it ever?
In many ways, this weapon idea of ours is similar to another historical invention, the flame tank from World War II. With a flamethrower right on board, they were designed for attacking enemy fortifications and obstacles. To help us get started, we hook up with Les, our resident fire and explosives expert. All right, Les, I'm not sure if you've actually heard yet, but Jer has this wacky idea to actually put the flamethrower in the tank eventually. So the priority, though, is to get our old flamethrower here putting out some serious BTUs. We want to amp it up. Because our big concern from the original flamethrower was we were getting like 30 or 40 feet of propulsion.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to hit maybe 80 to 100 feet. That would be awesome.
For safety's sake.
And that's where you come in, dude.
Okay, well, I got some cool stuff. You want to follow me? Well,
Really? Yeah.
I'll show it to you.
Right on.
To demonstrate how air pressure can be used as a propellant, Les gives us a small gun capable of delivering 2 psi, or 2 pounds per square inch of pressure. But this thing is laughably weak.
His next model uses a fuel pump from a car, which should deliver a healthy 35 psi. Release the hounds, buddy.
All righty.
Woo! There you go.
So we're still limited by our PSI in that electric pump. It's
Right.
not giving us enough power.
We need to really ramp it up here, man. We need, if that's 35, we need like 2,000, you know?
Absolutely.
Okay, 2,000 it'll be.
So let's get creative, Les.
To pull it off, we hook up with Jason, a metal fabricator on our build team. If we're shooting 2,000 PSI, we need to upgrade our 11th century flamethrower so it can handle a modern pressure pot and some hydraulic air rams.
Well, right now we're retrofitting our original flamethrower so they can hold all of our new propellant tanks, all of our new fuel tanks and everything. We want to get more distance from our fuel. We want to get this thing burning hotter. We want to make it really a more modern day, deadly machine. A few hours of work and a couple more trips for supplies, and our ancient flamethrower is ancient no more.
So, impress us, Les, come on.
There.
Hey! Uh-oh. That's what we're looking for. Nice burn last.
Well, that was like double the distance.
Oh, that's a sizzler. Far more effective than the original.
Flamethrower, meet Da Vinci tank.
Not bad.
A little patchwork and a few screws to hold things in place, and our Franken weapon is starting to take shape.
Looks nice, eh?
To make it safer, we need to replace manpower with horsepower. Hopefully horsepower we can control from a distance. So while Matt looks for a motor, I visit Heinz, who knows everything about remote control.
This is our miniature here, so we can explain it. We have a giant hand crank attached to this Da Vinci tank, and it works really well, but we want to replace it with a 5-horse motor.
Okay.
Hopefully run by RC.
All right.
And let me draw the setup I'm thinking of here. The giant wheel here, because it has to bear the weight of 2,000 pounds. Attached to it is a rubber wheel, just pressure fit.
Yep.
And mounted beside it is going to be a 5-horse motor. And I was thinking just on the throttle that we could have a little servo.
Yeah, that should be fine.
Okay, pretty
It'll work
straightforward,
great.
right?
While Heinz gets the RC together, we meet back up and head inside the tank. To attach an engine to our 500-year-old gear system, we have to make a little room.
Hooking up the engine and drive wheel is easy enough. Getting them to move the beast is another story.
Ah!
She's wicked powerful.
Oh, man!
Whoa. Cut her down.
What you got cooking?
Yeah, there's
fire
sparks everywhere, a lot of
extinguisher.
smoke coming out of there.
I'm ready.
Honestly, I think it's the clutch. The clutch is just blowing out under the pressure. Because this isn't skipping at all. We're getting great traction that way. Can you get a bigger clutch?
I didn't see any.
We seem to be overlooking one major obstacle here. Us. We've realized that the tank alone weighs 2,000 pounds. We also had 4 bodies in there trying to get the thing going, another 800 pounds. We've lightened the load. Jer's in there by himself with the remote. We're gonna give it one more shot.
Come on, buddy. Come on. Here we go. Hey, we're going. All right, I'll kill it. Unbelievable, man.
So just that weight difference made all the difference
Yeah.
we needed, right? That's awesome. How'd the clutch hold up?
It actually seems to be banging along all right.
But something's still missing. No tank is really complete without an extra gun up top. In our case, that gun would need to be remote control as well, so it can't have too much recoil. Jim, our weapons expert, shows up to help us with our decision.
What's the experiment here?
Well, I'm going to show you the difference in recoil between the M16 main battle rifle
Yep.
and the 12-gauge tactical shotgun.
Nice. I'm ready. I didn't even feel mine.
Oh man, well my story ends differently. That felt
Really?
every one of those right through here. It kicked like a mule.
So this is the perfect gun for our situation. It's not going to hurt the remote control, and it's not going to buck up out of our mount.
And it won't damage the rifle.
Nice.
That
nice
was
test,
awesome,
too.
Jim. Thanks.
I like that.
Now all we need is a gun turret.
You want help up there?
All right, so we fought the flamethrower with all that extra weight into it up in the top turret of the tank. The tank is rolling. Our last step here is to mount our M16 automatic weapon up in the top of the turret above the flamethrower. We're working on that right now. Once that's done, this thing is ready to kick butt.
With our tank souped up, it's time for Dr. Frankenstein and I to tackle 2 more inventions, our 4-armed catapult and 15th century machine gun.
Modifying them is one thing. Testing them in battle with live explosives is another.
Matt and I are turning inventions from history into our own personal super weapons, all in preparation for a mock battle.
After crossbreeding Da Vinci's tank with a Chinese flamethrower, it's time to hit the next two projects, the machine gun and catapult.
All right, man, 2 inventions down, 2 to go. I can't wait to improve these guys.
Okay, let's not even think about the catapult right now. Let's
point.
focus on the Da Vinci machine gun. This was one of my favorite.
Although machine guns, as we know them, are a recent invention, multi-shot weapons can be traced all the way back to 3rd century BC. The ancient Chinese had a repeating crossbow which fired a steady stream of bolts loaded from a wooden magazine mounted up top. Not long after, the Greek engineer Hero of Alexandria designed his own multi-shot arrow gun. But it wasn't until gunpowder hit the scene that Leonardo da Vinci dreamt up the real ancestor of modern machine guns. His idea, sketched out in one of his many notebooks, a multi-barreled gun designed to fire 12 shots in rapid succession. Not long ago, we actually built and tested this thing for the first known time.